is Monday, December 7. Welcome to CGN News. Trinidad's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced a change in opening hours for food supply outlets and supermarkets during the Christmas period. They will be allowed to open for 24 hours starting on Thursday until January 3. Rowley made the announcement Saturday at a press briefing. He also announced that schools will reopen virtually from January 4. Meanwhile, the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, in an advisory on Sunday, said visits will resume at all the nation's prisons as of Monday. The Antigua-based regional airline Liat on Saturday said it has been forced to suspend services to two of its previously announced destinations while it awaits approval from authorities in Barbados and St. Vincent. The financially strapped airline, which is now under administration, announced the resumption of flights 5 days a week to 7 destinations across its network. The 7 destinations are Antigua, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, and St. Vincent. Liat said prior to its suspension of services, it had been operating to Barbados and St. Vincent on valid flight approvals, which have not expired. Guyana is hoping that discussions on the coordination of the coronavirus protocols will be finalized soon so as to facilitate the reopening of the border crossing with Suriname on the Corentyne River. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said he had been in discussions with his Surinamese counterpart to arrive at an agreement. He said Guyana requires a PCR test taken within 72 hours and then visitors will be allowed to go without quarantining. However, Suriname's COVID-19 protocols are slightly different. In addition to the test, they also require a 14-day quarantine. Anthony said once the protocols are finalized, discussions on when to reopen the crossing would begin. One of 13 deportees who returned to Jamaica from the United Kingdom last Wednesday has tested positive for COVID-19. This was confirmed by a Ministry of Health official on Friday after the results were received. The man is said to be asymptomatic. The Jamaicans were housed at the Olympia Crown Hotel in Kingston pending their COVID-19 test results. Last week, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton told Radio Jamaica News that the men will remain in quarantine for 14 days and will be strictly monitored. While the police in Jamaica are reportedly probing allegations that former national youth footballer Kyle Butler was assaulted by his father Craig last week, the younger Butler has retained a legal team. Attorney at law Tom Tavares Finson said that Kyle has instructed his 3-man team to watch and/or conduct all related matters related to the incident. He also stated that the attorneys were informed that the alleged assault is being investigated by the police. The 22-year-old Kyle made the allegations via a series of tweets, including showing the wounds he said he received at the hands of his football manager during a training session on November 30. Kyle also alleged years of abuse meted out to him and his mother by his father. Mystery illness suffered by U.S. diplomats in Cuba was most likely caused by directed microwave radiation, a U.S. government report has suggested. The report by the National Academies of Sciences said research into the effects of pulsed radio frequency energy was carried out by the Soviet Union more than 50 years ago. The illnesses first affected people at the U.S. Embassy in Havana in 2016 to 17. Staff and some of their relatives complained of symptoms ranging from dizziness, loss of balance, hearing loss, anxiety, and something they described as, quote, cognitive fog. It became known as Havana syndrome. The U.S. accused Cuba of carrying out sonic attacks, which it strongly denied. A U.S. judge ordered the Trump administration Friday to fully reinstate a program that protects immigrants from deportation who came to the country illegally as children. The administration must allow newly eligible immigrants to apply to the so-called DACA program, an AFP report stated. Over the summer, the administration had issued a memo limiting the program to those who were already enrolled. Former President Barack Obama instituted DACA by executive order in 2012 to help some of the more than 10 million people estimated to be living in America without documentation. DACA protected an estimated 700,000 people known as Dreamers, offering protection at renewable 2-year periods. It applied to people who were brought into the U.S. illegally as children and grew up there. DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. President Donald Trump says his personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani has tested positive for COVID-19. He tweeted, quote, "Get better soon, Rudy. We will carry on," end quote. Giuliani, who has been leading the Trump campaign's legal challenges to the 2020 election results, is the latest person in the president's inner circle to be infected. Giuliani, 76, has been taken to the MedStar Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C., according to U.S. media reports. In a tweet, the former New York mayor thanked well-wishers for their messages and said he was, quote, "recovering quickly." The people of Ghana are voting in the presidential race for the top job dubbed, quote, "the Battle of Two Giants." It is expected to be a close fight between the incumbent Nana Akufo-Addo and longtime opponent John Mahama. The two main parties have always accepted electoral outcomes and pursued any grievances through the courts to ensure its continued tradition of peaceful polls. Akufo-Addo, 76, and Mahama, 62, signed a symbolic peace pact on Friday. Facebook said Friday it will start removing false claims about COVID-19 vaccines in its latest move to counter a tide of what it labels coronavirus-related misinformation. The social network will begin taking down any Facebook or Instagram posts with information about the vaccines that have been debunked by public health experts. The U.S. tech giant is taking action as the first COVID-19 vaccines are set to be rolled out. Britain last week became the first country to give emergency authorization for a vaccine. Facebook said that posts that include claims about vaccine safety, efficacy, ingredients, or side effects will be banned. In October, Facebook said that unpaid posts by people or groups that discourage vaccines would still be allowed. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.